Yo, what's going on, guys? GF9 here. So recently the question, what are your opinions on HCF, has been brought up to me quite a bit. So in this video, I will give you my opinions on the current state of HCF and what I believe needs to be done to it. The past couple of weeks, I've seen more and more HCF servers pop up again, and that is not 100% a bad thing. Most of the time when there are new servers, it means they're hopefully bringing at least one unique idea to their server, either in content changes or adding another aspect to HCF. It is the servers who pop up that have nothing unique or just interesting about them that gives small servers a bad name. When people enter the HCF scene, they believe it is a quick way to make some cash, but they fail to realize how expensive it can cost, especially if you're trying to do it right, which means proper development, advertisement, and positive relationships with others in the community. Good PR or public relationships is something that you are not going to gain overnight with your server. It requires proper introduction to people and supporting others, which is not an easy thing to do in HCF. There are tons of people who will bash and hate on your project before it even begins. There is such a lack of YouTubers within the community that most of the time it turns into HCF servers battling for YouTubers to grow their server, which means YouTubers see such an inflated price than what they are actually worth, and then those YouTubers believe that those numbers are what they are worth, and you need to beat those numbers in order to have that YouTuber go to your server. Most of the time they're getting paid a stupid amount, but hey, that is the HCF community. It isn't just the HCF community that this situation happens in. It happens in almost every community, but HCF is where it is the most noticeable and recognizable. Example, a 600 sub YouTuber with an average of about 300 views a video could be offered upwards of $45 per video, which is absolutely crazy. That is the cost of YouTubers in a community that there is such a shortage of. Since this, servers have reduced media requirements by an insane amount, which means it is easier to get YouTuber and famous. So it takes less work to get a rank, which can inflate prices of said YouTubers. Is HCF growing or regressing? This is a tricky situation. Huge YouTubers vouch that it is growing, and for now, yes, it is. Is it going to stay that way? I doubt it, and here's why. Let's take Mezoid's 100 days in HCF as an example. In there, he died about 3 or 4 times trying to achieve a simple nether trip to get basic materials like glowstone and gunpowder. For the video's sake, he kept going back and trying again, but as far as a normal player, no player would go back probably more than 2 times to attempt to get those materials. They would give up for the map and maybe try again for the next SOTW, which means, sure, you see an increased player amount for the SOTW since it is a fresh start, but how many of those players actually stick around until the end of the current map? Another thing, Mezoid proved how effective 2-high trapping is in his 100 days in HCF video. He basically proved that 2 or 3-high trapping is the way to go when it comes to getting started. But is that really how you want players to play? As said by almost every HCF YouTuber out there, blocking up takes no skill. Which also means if a new player joins and plays SOTW, they get a simple protection 1 set from things such as voting. They go 1 DTR like Mezoid, but then end up dying due to the increased damage on Viper plus partner items. Also, their insanely bad pearl glitching problem which they refuse to fix even though it has been on Viper for months. But why would they fix those issues? It is how they make their money on unbans. They make pearl glitching easy, dumb people do it, and instead of waiting a 1-day ban, purchase an unban because they cannot wait to get back on and glitch to make more people raidable because of how easy it is. Instead of fixing a known problem, let it stay and basically encourage players to pearl glitch with their very arguable pearl guidelines. Players find that really annoying, even old players do as well, not just new. Another reason I believe it will regress if change does not happen is this. So many servers are turning into the same old every HCF map. Servers are not taking a risk into introducing new concepts and ideas because they are afraid it will ruin their community. But change is necessary in order to keep the game mode alive. Don't get me on about Viper's community realm. That was a bigger bust than Arcane's return. Now, I'm not trying to attack Viper, but it is the leading server, so I believe change should start with them. Nobody wants old HCF except team fighters that in total make up maybe 10% of the community, which is not worth it. The community realm had some cool ideas, such as base regenerating, but it wasn't fit for the server it was on. What needs to change? Keep in mind that these are my opinions on the matter and what I believe is a good first step in the right direction. HCF has always been based at 1.7 and 1.8. Let's take my previous server Virus as an example. Virus took around 3 to 4 months worth of time to develop unique concepts and ideas to introduce to the HCF scene. This included faction upgrades, faction vaults, faction brew, charm economy, black market, bosses, a unique challenge system, charm shop, and so much more, including the faction focus on the scoreboard, which has now been introduced on every HCF server out there. And that is the problem. Bigger servers basically feed off of smaller servers that are trying to do something different and count them as their own ideas to make it look like they're the ones changing. Example of this, Varix was the first server with faction focus. Instead of simply asking to use the idea, Viper swooped in and stole it and introduced it as their own for the anniversary update. Another example, Valor, with the claim on the scoreboard. Not long after, tons of servers have introduced it as well. Another is Mage class. HG Games announced this on their Twitter about a year before Viper added it. The list goes on. Would you play a HCF server based on 1.8 and up? Lose 1.7. I mean, the majority of players already do. The possibilities that could happen with 1.8 features all the way up to 1.16 is insane. Understandably, it would take some time to get used to, but all the new and unique things the servers can do. Imagine there was a mage effect with levitation. They legit made players fly up and then fall to their death. That is a dumb example, but it would be so cool to see servers incorporate newer features to HCF. Until things change, servers will always be limited to what 1.7 has, which is not a lot. Also, from a player side, tons of players, and to be honest, younger players are going to newer versions of Minecraft, like 1.16. A 1.7 server will not appeal to someone who has been playing 1.16. Say an HCF video goes viral and shows up into people's suggestions. They notice the server is 1.7, they realize it is not the version they play and move on, especially if they realize how different 1.16 compared to 1.7 is. Why should we listen to anything you say? To be honest, it is your choice. I'm just saying my thoughts on the topic from first-hand experience from owning two semi-successful HCF servers, Murder and Virix. I quit owning HCF servers because I realized it is not worth it to me and that resetting up a map for the same old experience, except on Virix, was boring even to staff. I've been playing HCF still and sort of sitting on the sidelines watching to see what servers do. There are a few servers that I've been keeping an eye on. Some cool features it has is craftable partner items and cool ability per player type like things. I'm not saying go play, but servers like this is something that HCF needs. Once you're willing to go out of the normal for HCF and do unique things like this. If you guys like videos like this, please leave a like and drop a comment. I really do appreciate it. This video took a bit longer and hopefully you guys understand that this video is not meant to trigger people, but just what I believe in. Feel free to leave your own opinion down in the comments. I'll be reading all of them. So without further ado guys, have a good day.